Welcome back. Daily Graphic is starting this morning and says NDC will accept results. Others must do same. President Mahama there. And then Kwame Nkrumah interchange opens today. And also here, NPP denounces attack on Nane's home, and NDC wants police to bring perpetrators to book. Those are stories on the Daily Graphic. Daily Guide says NDC boys attack Nana's house, and EC dispatches ballot papers. The Ghanaian Times, violence at Akufo-Addo's house, Akufo-Addo's residence, and also here, ex-principal butchered at Abilinkpe, another at Mafi Chawula. The stories here on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. The Independent says Akufo-Addo's house attacked as NPP NDC supporters clash. And the Finder talks about workers strike tomorrow over government refusal to release pension funds. Public schools, hospitals, MDAs risk shut down. And that story captured also the incident at Nana Addo's house. Deportation fear grips Ghanaians in the USA. President Trump to deport 3 million immediately, and we're told that Obama deported over 2.5 million in 7 years. Those are some of the newspapers in front of me. When I come back, I'll tell you who my guests are, and then we'll start the conversation.
When I was saying so dangerous, that be why you chose to hang with us. You ignore what you saw on the tour bus. Met your confidence with compliments, you were all flush. Plus, you Google us, our circles not Google Plus. And I made you blush with my schoolboy crush. Mind wonders, I wonder if she facetious much. I know better than to rush eternal sunshine of the spotless and mindless. Before long, we so far gone at the same address. Sweet fornication on a golden mattress. Midas touch when I caressed her breast. I confess to promiscuous one night stands, but she impetuous. Still lets me get in her pants. She did online for the tweets, pics, gossip, and bands. In love with my acid rap, but leaves nothing to chance. She holds hands, enjoying this vagabond's romance. She laughs at my scandalous chants. A penny for your thoughts, $1 if you will pole dance. Pardon me, I'm just a vagabond man.
You could have nothing at all. You could have nothing at all. No shoes on your feet, on your feet. Sit there at the beach. Your hustle is sweet. Something special about you. There's something special about you.
I know they do pick up lines to pick up dimes. Her phone on silence, many calls, she only picks up mine. When she bought the cold Silverado, pick up time. Concoction liquor up, now we both make fine. Against day, we for prey, cast and bind. Emphasis, all caps, bold, underline. Both guilty of crime, of the love kind. We draw from emotions, it's art and design. When she mad, she guilt trips me for many miles. Pick her up with the beamer, now she beaming smiles. She did dream of miles, bitches boo, who would have knew? You cheat, random women sending me nudes. But I'm just be interludes, we're still a good match, no be formats. If we both broke an oath, what you call that? Listen to my voice now out there, so here's some more raps. Relax, 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 relax.
You could have nothing at all.
Grateful for your time there. To my right is a Deputy Communications Minister, Felix Kwachufu. So Felix, good morning. And grateful for your time once again. And then to my left is a Communications Director of the PNC, Emmanuel Wilson. Good morning, too.
Good morning.
Hope you're doing great.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
And I can't cease admiring your tie.
Grateful. Thanks to DK Clothing. I'm always in that. Exciting. I get you his contact.
I'll be happy.
Right. Let's start the conversation this morning. And a lot of them, the newspapers I have here, are reporting the confusion, misunderstanding at Nana Addo's house. The NPP is asking for the right thing to be done. They are condemning the attack and want the police to act. The NDC is also suggesting that the perpetrators of that act be brought to book. Before we can talk about the Daily Graphic story, NDC will accept results. The president asking others to do so. Emmanuel, let me start with you. The incident there, could it have been avoided?
You're talking about the incident
at Nanado's house.
Yes, it could have, but right, permit me to say a good morning to our viewers.
Right.
And congratulate the US for a successful election that he held.
Right.
And then extend my condolence to the government of New Zealand. They were hit just over the weekend by an earthquake.
Right.
And this morning I'm getting information that there are a reasonable number of casualties. You know, so the families and the government, my condolence, my deepest of condolence to all of them. I was taken aback yesterday when I got the information. In fact, I read it on the social media that there is an attack taking place at Nanes End. That is the flag bearer of the NPP. Now, Bright, when I got the information, I felt a bit disappointed because on several platforms, I have acknowledged the fact that this year's election seems to be a significant improvement over the past elections, simply because I have not witnessed, let's say probably from 2000 and 2004, when I became very active in national politics, I have not witnessed any election year that has a strong demand on issues and manifesto policies than this year. And so for me, it was really a significant, it has been a significant period for me. Only for me to wake up and realize that there is an attack, something that I was thinking that we are not going to experience in this year, you know. I have heard information coming from both sides, from the NDC side, from the MPP side. And what is worrying to me is that we seem, as a nation, not to be giving so much importance to offenses that, quote unquote, we define as political offenses or political violence. Such that if I engage myself in any violent act, the way and manner in which the police and law enforcement agents will treat me seems to be a bit different when I am seen in a political colors and engage in the same act. And so for me, our gradual shift as a nation, where we are beginning to define and accept definitions for violent activities, seems to be a worrying one for me. And so I was thinking, and I'm still thinking, I'm proposing that, look, we should rather encourage the law enforcers, the police, to dive deep into this matter. They should come out with the findings, as in their reports. They should be able to identify where it all started from, those that are at fault, whether the fault is coming from an individual wearing an NDC attire or an MPP attire. We should take that individual out of the political colors and let us treat the individual as such, as the law demands it to be. But what I'm saying again is that one thing that caught my attention from the narratives I heard from individuals from MPP and individuals from NDC is this, and that is where I want the police to come in. The NDC and the MPP are all saying, those that I've heard from, you know, they are all saying that, look, there was a gunshot, and the gunshot started from both sides. This NDC says Nanes security guys started a gunshot. The MPP says the NDC individuals who were going on the health walk, they started a gunshot. So I am not very sure where it all started from. But one thing I know is that there was a gunshot. So if there was a gunshot, Bright, I want to find out who was in possession of the gun. We want to find out whether those guns are licensed guns. We want to find out whether those individuals who were even in possession of it have the right to hold those guns. Whether it is coming from NDC or it's coming from MPP. I want us to get into this matter and find it out. But you see, I am also struggling to believe that just a few days into election, we'll begin to record this kind of events. It is something that needs to be
condemn in totality. But we will be able to condemn it boldly when we know where it started from. If we know that it started from individuals that were in Nanado's house, then we'll know how to condemn it, because you cannot condemn something when you don't know who you are condemning. So if we also know that it started and it is coming from those who were going on a health walk on the ticket of the NDC, then we'll also know that, look, it is coming from this side. We need to condemn it. We need to call on their leaders to condemn it. But all of this, we'll be able to get to the root of it when we activate fully the investigative processes from the police. There's one thing that I also got from the report that I've heard so far, and if it is really true, it is worrying, that this tag of war, to put it that way, it lasted for about 30 or so minutes. But you see, if you know where the event took place, it is less than 2 minutes walk to the police station.
The Nima police.
The Nima police station. So where were the police? Because if this is an event that lasted even about 20 minutes, I think that the proximity is so close that the police should have gotten into it, and it shouldn't have lasted beyond even 5 minutes. If the police had gotten, they've taken a swift action, I'm also sure there would have been some few arrests, and that would have led to the investigation process. Where were the police? Why should it take about 30 minutes or so before the police will come into it? Because even if it is 5 minutes, knowing very well that there were gunshots, it means that there were arms involved. And if it was just even 5 minutes, individuals could have lost their lives. My worry is this. You see, that particular stretch or that particular view, it seems to be a busy stretch, because individuals move in and out, and Nima in particular seems to be a populated,
the ring road.
So my worry is this. At the end of the day, if there were casualties, it may not have even affected those key groupings that were involved, but an innocent soul that was walking or that is walking around may have been the one to be affected. And that is why I wanted the police to have acted very swiftly. I am yet to be convinced why the police, that is, if the story I heard was true or is true, that it lasted for about 30 minutes plus.
And yet the police
did not do anything. I'm yet to be convinced. I want the police to come out to tell. But in all this, I am still calling on the followers of all political parties that, look, election winning has nothing to do with violence. If you are going to win election, you win it.
Without violence.
Without violence. If you are going to win election, you will win it without attacking your opponents. If you are going to win election, you will win it without defacing the posters of any of your political opponents. I also want to entreat the political leaders. Of course, the PNC, we are very committed to it. But anytime we record violent act, political violent act, it seems to have its roots from the two political parties, NDC and the MPP. So I want to call on their leadership to find a way of talking to their followers, to find a way of talking to their members. Maybe sometimes they may not be so strong in influencing their followers. And that is where I am always calling on the law enforcers, the police, because they are supposed to be a neutral entity.
Neutral arbiter.
You understand? So they should also come in as urgent as possible. And they should not allow the establishment of what is gradually being defined as political violence. Oh, this is political violence. It was politically perpetrated, and so we need not go into it. Every crime is a crime.
All right. Wilson, I come back to I'm grateful. I'm expecting the Member of Parliament for the Futi constituency, Alexander, I think you're marking to join us. If he's around, you just know we're waiting for him. All right, Felix. Now, he's made quite key point, the fact that we are unable to differentiate between what is political violence and what is violence. And he suggests clearly that this could have been avoided if those involved are brought to book.
You see, let us be frank and cut to the chase. We are where we are, and that incident was recorded because the leader of the MPP, unfortunately and most regrettably, has chosen to behave more like a warlord than the normal leader of a political party.
How?
This is a man who has recruited thugs who they call invisible forces. And as the pictures that have emanated show, arm them with guns and other offensive weapons. And mind you, these are the same group of thugs who have been at the center of the violence in the MPP. You recall that. Now, how does somebody seeking public office or the office of president conduct himself in this way?
His security detail?
You see, right. You are a normal citizen. If you happen to have a mansion somewhere in Accra and you want it guarded, you don't go and recruit thugs and give them weapons. What you do is to use
we can't say they are his security detail.
But what security detail? Why? There are many private residences that have qualified security personnel, trained properly, who work for licensed security companies. If you do not have confidence in them, you use the police, who are the regular institution that provides security for all of us. Once you go outside of the arrangement, recruit thugs who are sympathetic to your party, and give them weapons, you are going to have the kind of incident that we had.
Why is it the police arresting these persons you refer to as thugs, if they are?
Because you see, it is not the first time. Since 2014, they have been at this. They have launched similar attacks on their own party people. Many people, in some instances, people have actually died because of the conduct of these thugs who call themselves invisible forces. Now, NDC supporters are going on a health walk, a very peaceful health walk. The MPP flag bearer's house is at a busy intersection. He owns the house, or better still, it was his father's property that he lives in. The street in front of that house is a public place. Everybody is allowed to pass over that street. Even the Flagstaff house, which is just behind you, which is a security area because it is a residence of the occupier of the highest office of this land. People pass by it, in front of it, behind